Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. We start with some breaking news tonight. The Battle of the Bell football game between Meade and Mount Spokane has been canceled because of COVID-19 concerns. The difficult decision came after conversations with the Spokane Regional Health District. The cancellation gives Meade time to do internal testing and quarantines. The football game was supposed to be played tomorrow night. The school's now working to reschedule the game. This is the third local high school football game canceled because of COVID. Today, Washington Governor Jay Inslee announced new mask guidelines for large outdoor events, shaping how the Spokane Interstate Fair will operate this year. The fair was already going to be following Washington's guidelines by requiring masks at the indoor venues, but with Inslee's announcement this afternoon, people will now also be required to wear face coverings while outdoors on the fairgrounds starting on Monday. The fair starts tomorrow and goes through the 19th, which means the outdoor mask rule will be in place for a majority of the fair's duration. Today we spoke with Spokane County Interstate Fair Director Aaron Gertel about how they plan on enforcing the rule come Monday.
We'll continue on with our messaging. We just really want the community to help us do their part, and let's all keep each other safe. It is an amazing opportunity that we're still able to host the fair this year, and we want to be able to offer the full 10 days to everyone. So we need everyone to do their part.
These are not the only COVID protocols in place at the fair. In addition to the mask rules, there are now more hand washing stations and bathrooms throughout the fairgrounds. Organizers have also announced the rides will be cleaned throughout the day. All right, let's break down what Governor Inslee's announcement means going forward. Inslee says that he is expanding the existing mask mandate as COVID-19 hospitalizations are on the rise across the state. So now everyone 5 years old and older required to wear a mask at large outdoor events. This update applies to everyone regardless of vaccination status. The announcement comes as the state's hospitals approach capacity and more surgeries are being canceled to free up space for COVID-19 patients.
It is time for people to stop listening to conspiracy theories about microchips in this vaccine and start listening to their physicians. And we are asking people to speak to their physicians about this vaccine.
The governor attributed the outdoor mask mandate to the fact that there is evidence of COVID transmission at outdoor events. He said there were more than 200 infections traced back to the Watershed Music Festival at the Gorge Amphitheater at the end of July.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you, the people you work with, the people you care about, the people you love.
Inslee's updated mask mandate comes as President Joe Biden announced today that anyone working for a large company must get vaccinated or undergo regular COVID testing. A large-sized company was defined as more than 100 workers. So you're taking a live look at the White House tonight, where the president earlier today signed an executive order requiring federal executive branch workers to be vaccinated. Another executive order extends the same standard to employees of contractors who do business with the federal government. New tonight, the TSA announced that starting tomorrow, it will be increasing the penalty for people who violate the mask mandate. Those who ride any form of public transportation could face a potential fine of up to $1,000 for your first offense. Second offenders could be charged as much as $3,000. In North Idaho, a new monoclonal antibody treatment center is set to open. This as Kootenai Health is in crisis, overwhelmed with sick COVID patients. The antibody treatments aim to keep patients with mild or moderate COVID symptoms out of the hospital. Tonight, KREM 2's Morgan Trow explains who qualifies for these treatments.
This animal and wildlife building at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds will transform into an antibody treatment center starting Monday. This therapy comes during a critical time in North Idaho's COVID battle. The hospitals are overrun and the area is following crisis standards of care. That means hospitals are having to ration their care.
Our main intention here is to be able to take a lot of the pressure off of our local hospital.
Heritage Health Chief Clinical Officer Dr. Peter Purrington says the antibody treatment center is for those who are COVID positive with mild to moderate symptoms. The people this is aimed towards are those with risk factors such as diabetes, heart disease, or anything that could lead them to developing a severe COVID case that requires hospitalization.
This particular treatment has been shown to avoid about 70% of hospitalizations when given in a rapid amount of time after a COVID diagnosis or symptoms present.
Anyone 12 and older is eligible, but you do need a referral from your primary care doctor who is licensed in Idaho. The referral is then transferred over to Heritage Health, who will then contact you for an appointment. It's free to anyone who gets it, but you must still be COVID positive. They will take about 45 people a day and will be open on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a quick injection, but they do ask for you to wait an hour after it to see if there are any reactions. But this is not a replacement for the vaccine.
Absolutely not. This is not a replacement for the vaccine. Still, the most important opportunity you can do is to get vaccinated.
So, as Dr. Purrington says, the antibody treatment isn't the fix to COVID-19 in the region, but it is something to slow down the hospitalizations. If you would like to get this therapy, talk to your doctor to see if it would be right for you. In Coeur d'Alene, Morgan Trout, KREM 2 News.
Today, COVID-19 cases are on the rise in North Idaho. Let's dive into those numbers right now. According to Panhandle Health, 321 new cases reported today. 116 people are hospitalized with the virus. No new deaths were reported in the district today. Taking a look at cases across the state line, according to Washington Governor Jay Inslee, Washington COVID hospitalizations are at the highest level they've ever been during the entire pandemic. And more than 90% of those hospitalized are unvaccinated. The health district is reporting 221 people are currently hospitalized in the county with the virus. 440 new cases were also reported today alone, as well as 7 new deaths. Now taking a look ahead, a funeral service for a longtime local fire chief is being held tomorrow. James Earl Krause died from a heart attack while fighting a wildfire last month. He was 76 years old. Friends and family will honor Jim tomorrow, September 10th at 1 p.m. at the First Baptist Church in Colfax. The burial will follow at the Colfax Cemetery. On Saturday, there will be a memorial service for the Spokane County firefighter who died in the line of duty. Lieutenant Cody Traber died while responding to a reported brush fire last month. When crews were unable to find that fire, Traber tried to get a better view when he fell from the Wandermere Bridge. Friends, family, and law enforcement are invited to the memorial at Calvary Spokane. That memorial will not be open to the public. All right, let's talk weather now. Another beautiful day across the inland Northwest with highs topping out in the 80s, but don't get used to it because things are about to cool off at least a bit. And we're also tracking some rain. Meteorologist Michelle Boss joining us in the Outdoor Weather Center. Michelle, we're talking about actually maybe a significant amount of rain.
Yeah, definitely measurable rain and widespread rain. So definitely looking forward to that late Friday into early Saturday morning. Some folks got a little preview today, a few sprinkles. I know I was surprised in Green Acres when I had a brief shower over at my house earlier this afternoon. Really the only measurable rain reported at our reporting stations was Lewiston. They only came up with 1/100 of an inch, but more on the way, much more on the way for late Friday into early Saturday morning. Right now, temperatures very mild for this time of evening. 73 in Spokane, upper 60s in Moses Lake, 77 in Lewiston, a little bit cooler in Sandpoint, 61 degrees. Our air quality, though, has been in the unhealthy for sensitive groups category for most of the day. Doesn't look like we're going to see much improvement tomorrow, but hopefully after we see some of those rain showers, the cooler weather will help with the fire activity across the region. Here's a look at the next 3 days. We'll start off dry, but look for showers for the afternoon, breezy, 74 degrees. Saturday's looking nice, though. The rain should be out by the morning. 72, partly cloudy on Saturday. Sunday looking beautiful, sunshine and 74.
All right, sounds good, Michelle. Thank you very much. Tonight, we have new information about Gonzaga head basketball coach Mark Few's DUI citation. Newly released court documents revealed that on Monday night, a Kootenai County Fire and Rescue captain reported to dispatch that he was driving behind a black SUV that was driving erratically and speeding. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley shares what else is in those court documents.
We know from Kootenai County court documents it was Mark Few driving that black SUV Monday night. Court documents say Few told police he was driving to Spokane from his vacation home at Hayden Lake. The captain followed his SUV and gave dispatch updates on their location as they drove south on 4th Street. This afternoon, we drove the route Few took that night. The fire engine followed Few south on 4th Street to the Appleway intersection until an officer arrived. The captain told Coeur d'Alene police he saw the car drifting from over the center line and over the bike lane several times. He thought the car was going to hit 3 signs before he called dispatch. An officer eventually pulled Few over near Appleway and 4th Street. Docs say the officer could smell an odor of alcohol while standing at Few's window. He adds that Few had watery, bloodshot eyes and spoke slowly. Few told the officer he had nothing to drink that day, but he later admitted to drinking 2 beers. Court documents say Few refused to complete all sobriety tests. He told the officer he would not be able to complete any of the tests due to a previous ankle and knee injury. Docs say he also argued with the officer about whether the tests were subjective. The officer arrested him and collected breath samples. He blew a .119 and a .120, which is above the legal driving limit. Court documents say Few wanted an independent blood draw completed. The officer took him to Kootenai Health to do this. While at the hospital, documents say the officer's supervisors directed him to release Few and cite him for a DUI.
That was Amanda Rowley reporting. Coming up after the commercial break, we talk with an Idaho defense attorney about how these types of arrests are usually handled. When we come back in just 90 seconds, we'll tell you how this case compares. And if you like choir groups and rock bands, we have a dynamic duo that might pique your interest. Coming up later in the broadcast.